I feel like I'm just getting so red.
Alright, well, I'm going to move the camera because you're not a professional at this, and you've put yourself up on the edge of the frame. That's so terrible at framing. Now you'll appreciate how, when next time you see me a video of mine and I'm in the center of the frame, you'll be like, you put some effort into that.
Skills.
Yeah.
You guys wouldn't think, but
he's actually
I've been on both sides. My name's Julia. You know me from such comments as perfect title, haha.
Classic.
Another classic. I don't comment on much.
Wow.
Great video, haha. Are you and Georgia still in an open relationship?
Yeah.
Sorry if this is too personal. Famously featured.
Yeah.
In FAQdist.
She's been there all along.
This is the face behind the, the comments. Everyone watching, if you need a place to stay, just like some message. And this could be you if you message.
I don't just invite anyone round.
Everyone come round. We're having a meet and greet tomorrow at 6 in the morning.
Right, I think I need to explain now. Julia is from Canada and she's travelling around the UK, and she messaged me saying, hey, I'm going to be in the area. Do you want to get lunch or something? And I said, yeah, sure, that sounds fun. You were like, cool, I'll probably stay in Bath for a day or two. And I was like, oh, well, you can just crash here if you want. We have like a spare futon. If you feel uncomfortable about it, then that's fine, but just didn't want to make you spend money on a hostel if you don't have to. You stayed with me, and during your stay, thought that you might have COVID because the last person you stayed with sent you a message saying they had a positive test. So then I thought you were going to have to isolate with me for 2 weeks while we figured that out. Didn't want to move on until you got a negative test, which you then got. And so then you left me after 4 days. And then I was so devastated that you left that I convinced you to come back for about 10 hours.
Yeah, I took a 12-hour train to be here for 10 hours to bring you this content.
That's why you came, is it?
Just for the people.
All I know is that you found a book in a book swap, like free take these books thing, called like the unofficial Twilight Companion or something.
Yes. Twilight Companion by Lois Gresh, which is not been authorized or endorsed by Stephanie Meyer, Little Brown Company, or anyone involved in the Twilight movie. Do
you mind if I shut the window a sec? Just because I think the noise of the cars is going to disrupt. That might mean you have to give up your jeans. Are you fine with that? Yeah, is that okay?
From 2008, so...
Fucking hell. Breaking Dawn wasn't even out then.
Just to give you like a flavor, I'll read you some of the chapter titles. What to expect when you fall in love with a vampire. Sexy werewolves, : they're furry, strong, and sensitive, new age kinds of guys. Vampires and werewolves, can they ever be friends?
It's like one of those shitty teen magazines.
Living forever. Is
it all that it's cracked up to be? Is the font pretty big? They padded this out quite a lot.
No,
no, that's a decent amount, yeah.
I also have no insider information on, like, they're not endorsed by Stephanie Meyer, like, they're acting like they're answering these questions. Protecting your vampire, everything you need to know about sunlight crosses garlic and holy water. Like, none of that is in Twilight. Yeah. Do you mind if I have a quick read of the introduction to the updated edition? Because I noticed that they have, it's the first bit. I feel like the update is that we've been sued and had to add the whole thing. This was my 19th book, and the one thing I've always tried to do is entertain readers. There's just 19 copies made. Thanks to my 18 friends. Is she counting every revision of this as its own publication? Oh my god, wait! Yeah, she said this was my 19th book, and then here, that code means that that's the 19th printing of this book. Within that string of numbers? Yeah. Why does the one in the middle, the one... Well, that I can't tell you how the publishing industry is complicated. It could be any of those numbers. No, it isn't. I think it's the highest one always. Why would they just bury it amongst a bunch of other things? Listen, I don't work for Macmillan. Why am I a fan of the Twilight series? Because it involves possibly the most romantic and appealing vampire in all of literature. How many quizzes are there? We got vampire quiz, werewolf quiz, vampire test. I'd also like to do romance quiz. Could Edward be the man for you? Should we do that one? That one sounds good. Yeah, please. Okay. Are you doing it as well, or is it just me? Just you. Okay. Almost every girl who reads the Twilight Saga wishes that a guy just like Edward would walk into her biology class. If I may. You've read the Twilight Saga. Yeah. Did you wish that a guy just like Edward would walk into your biology class? Really? Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Right, I was like 12 years old, but like I was so like, that was like, Twilight was like the like sexual awakening for like literally my entire generation. Okay. Well, I don't do you not agree?
know how to begin to respond to that. I assume that you are female, not
If not, just pretend for the purposes of this test that you are a girl.
Done.
I also assume that you are a teenager, but just to be safe,
Oh,
your
right, your age,
here.
and the age that's written in is 14. So now that's written in there, cool.
32.
Thanks.
Be very honest, and you describe yourself based on the listed statements. For example, if the first statement is, I am an idiot, and you know that you were smart, then you would answer, not at all characteristic of me.
Yeah, I understand it's a quiz.
There's
There's so many examples. You need to explain how quizzes work.
I am sweet and caring, not at all characteristic of me, extremely characteristic of me.
There's the only 2 options?
No. And then in between, very moderately and sometimes.
What do you think?
Some goes.
Yeah, but I think it would be fun to see if my answers match with your answers.
I would say very.
I would say very as well, but it just makes me feel better saying it knowing that you agree.
Yeah.
I'm not going very sweet and caring, unless that was an absolute guilt trip. Oh yeah, very, very sweet and caring. How am I doing?
Doing great so far. When I disagree with someone, I keep my mouth shut until I've had enough time to think of my response.
That is sometimes characteristic of me. Sometimes and moderately feel pretty similar.
That was like unnecessary like detail. I probably whine and complain too much. I don't mean to be this way, and sometimes people think that I'm complaining when I'm just pointing out how to make things better.
Fucking
Person's
that's
just in
absolute.
denial.
That's an absolute Bella,
Are
isn't
they just ranking you on how close to Bella you are?
it? Maybe. Because they know that that's Edward's type.
Sometimes I'm really happy, but sometimes my mood drops and I get extremely depressed. Sometimes I'm happy and sometimes I'm sad.
I mean, that is technically accurate. I don't get extremely depressed sometimes
Right.
at will, so I would say not at all characteristic of me. I don't think I'm going to do very well in this.
I'm a patient person.
Yes, I just realised that this whole time I haven't been pretending to be a girl at all.
How would it change though? Like what?
Just in my
What's
head,
been
I would have been
gendered about
thinking,
any of this? Like,
as a girl, what would my answer be?
how patient would I be as a girl? I believe that everyone has the right to be themselves, to be unique, to act differently from other people. That's what unique means. And to think what they want. I know that my friends have faults, but I tend to be very accepting of them anyway, and when my friends whine and complain too much, I tend to overlook their behavior. Sometimes I think that I'm too tolerant of other people's faults.
So what, I've got to say whether all of that is characteristic. I'm going to read it again. It starts with, I believe that everyone has the right to be themselves, and you're like, who isn't going to agree with that? And the last sentence is, sometimes I think that I'm too tolerant of other people's faults, which is not at all my... So I don't know. Do you think that she wrote like too many questions and they were like, you've got to get it down to like 20, and she was like, and then she just smushed like
this
3
seems
together.
so unedited. I don't think there was any editor. Spoiler in case we end up doing it as well, but the vampire quiz, like you have to answer all these questions, and at the end, instead of like telling you like what vampire you are, she just like gives her opinion on like what she would have said for all
So great.
It's so good. Like that's the best quiz ever. Insults you for like choosing the wrong answer. It's so funny.
I didn't realise I could get them wrong.
I crack a lot of jokes, and usually when people are with me, they laugh a lot and have a good time.
I think you should answer that one. I think that is sometimes characteristic of me.
That's like the second lowest. Come on.
You
Don't have to be humble.
can do better than
You
that.
can do better than that. I'd say very.
I'm going to take
I
that.
feel like at least when we first met, definitely very extremely. And now it's been
Not
like,
so much now. Fucking how many questions are there?
oh, there's so many.
Oh god, she's still turning the pages. What the look?
Oh my god, these are the questions? Oh no,
There's 50 questions? I can't give that much energy to this.
I'm a loving
I
person.
thought I was nearly done. I'm a loving person. Yeah, you're right.
Personally say I speak up right away. I don't hesitate for talking. It's like the same question.
Kind of sometimes as well, I think.
Sometimes. I feel like you would be more than sometimes, no?
Whose quiz is this?
Okay.
So I've just got less
Well, like,
funny as the
not
more
less
you've got to
funny,
know
but
me,
just
the less you've enjoyed my
less.
company.
less percentage of the time we're talking is you cracking jokes.
We've got less light-hearted.
Yeah.
Okay, I accept that.
Still having a great time.
Okay, alright,
I
alright.
do what I want when I want to do it.
Maybe put moderate.
Nobody can tell me what to do.
Fucking hell.
Same question.
No, not at all.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
People can tell you what to do.
Mhm.
I am a tolerant person. The cute little 14-year-old who don't know what that means.
Yeah, I'm a very tolerant person. Yeah, she's gone with extremely.
I'm
I'm not the driver in this seat anymore.
I'm an intelligent person.
Moderately. Do you want to just answer him?
I'm a creative person.
Yeah, very. Extremely. Well,
Extremely.
extremely suggests that it's to my... I feel like
am a
extremely there's like a negative to it. Like, I'm so creative that it actually is a problem for me.
Yeah.
Actually, that is fair.
Yeah, I am a physically beautiful person.
I'm... how can that be sometimes characteristic? Like, either you are or you're not. I don't think that's at all characteristic of me.
You're just like, right? So you want me to
Not
not at
physical.
all?
I want you to answer what's in your heart.
I'm not answering.
I'm not going to tell them.
I am a lazy person.
We're just moving
I'm
on.
a friendly person.
Yeah, very. Extremely, alright.
Most of my friends are restless and upset a lot. It's a weird question.
What's that got to do with whether Edward's a good match for me? He doesn't have to date my friends. Most of my friends are restless and upset a lot. And they're assuming that maybe you're the problem.
Most of my friends are tolerant. Apparently we've entered the friends portion.
We have. They're all
Oh my
friends
God, they're all
questions from
friends.
now. Okay.
And they're all the same question.
So we've... Oh, is it the same questions just again?
Yeah.
But, like, my
Most
friends.
of my friends are physically beautiful people.
She's just copied and pasted now.
I would sacrifice my life to save a friend or family member.
Yeah, I would do that.
Extremely? You would extremely sacrifice your life for only sometimes.
I'm going to say very.
I would very sacrifice my life. You could sacrifice your life for anyone?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm not more important than them.
But they're not more important than you.
You sure?
Seems like a nice thing. You probably could if you wanted to go out and sacrifice your life for anyone.
It's not like a goal of mine. I just... Yeah, but I've thought about donating organs and loads of stuff. I thought really seriously about donating kidneys, and I've donated blood, and I tried donating sperm, but that's a whole story. I'm fertile enough to have children. You asked. I'm fertile enough to have children, but not fertile enough to donate. They require like an even higher level of virility because they have to freeze them, and a bunch of them die when they freeze them, and so enough of them have to be really good that enough of them will survive the process. So they were like, "It's good news. You're at the normal threshold for having children, but not like the super high threshold we require."
Oh,
So yeah.
that was actually the next question. So what is your sperm?
Moderate sperm counts.
Sometimes. I think that all babies are cute.
No, not all babies are cute. No one thinks all babies are cute. Some babies are cute. Have you ever held a baby?
Yeah.
It's the most peaceful thing in the world.
I find it a bit stressful because I feel like if I move the wrong way, it's an accident. Just
Wow, you felt the responsibility of life in your hands.
Yeah, it kind of stresses me out when people try to pass me their babies. I saw a baby in the store the other day. He looked literally like a 6-year-old man. He had such an old man's face, and he was so pale and just British old man looking, and he just looked up at me and smiled, and it was so disconcerting.
Terrifying. Like a deep fake, but in real life. Yeah. The last question.
If someone gives me a gift that I don't particularly like or that I don't think is cool enough, I will make fun of the gift in front of the person. That's such a good final question.
No, I would not do
I
that.
have to score your 50-question quiz, so...
Okay. Will you turn the camera off while you're scoring? Because it might take a while
Yeah.
and probably be boring. Okay. Yeah, you just, as usual, you need to come back into the frame. We've been through the scoring procedure. It's really weird. I thought, yeah, it was going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 points
You would think that that's
per
normally
question.
how it works.
But for example, this question is 5 for everything unless you pick not at all, in which case it's nothing. There's no sequencing to them at all.
She just gets
right,
into
I see.
every single statement.
This has been, you need to get a 4 or 5 on this question because Edward really values these things.
Statement, most of my friends are restless and upset a lot. This is extremely or very characteristic of you, then you already know how to deal with strange, unpleasant, jumpy, nervous, or unpredictable people. So that was actually a plus.
Oh, so...
Why should a guy who is as perfect as Edward be saddled with a girl who has incredibly low self-esteem? Just awful. Some of these,
He does get saddled with a girl that's incredibly low
He does, that's the whole book.
That's the story of Twilight. So it gives you the scores, and then at the end it's also...
how the scores were tallied, and then there's 2 pages that just say your age.
This is like Dumbledore at the end of Philosopher's Stone, where he's like, I have some last minute points to announce. If you're a teenager, you get 50 points.
Why? If you happen to be 0, 1, 2, or 3 years old, I must draw the line. So below 80,
Uh-huh.
it just says, absolutely not give up all hope, you might want to consider getting psychotherapy.
So
It's so harsh. This is supposed to be about if you're compatible with this fictional guy. And it's like, you need help.
this is not the place for your thoughts.
Oh no, she considers every place in this movie. 80 to 125. There's a slight chance that you'll be compatible with a guy like Edward. You might want to reconsider how sensitive you are to other people and then take the quiz again.
Is this on the DSM-5?
You don't know why that score is low. Like, it could just be that your friends are boring and ugly or something.
That's a good point.
126 to 200, there's a strong possibility that you'll be compatible with someone like Edward. If your score is lower in the range of 126 to 149,
okay,
your chances are not nearly as strong. Well, why didn't you just put that as one of the options? It's on the lower end.
yeah.
Not nearly as strong. So don't get too excited. And then over 200 just says you win.
200 and above is the highest. That's the highest range.
You are definitely the girl for a handsome, wonderful, perfect vampire guy like Edward. You possess many of Bellasoy's finest qualities. Our 14-year-old friend got 211. So,
wow.
Congrats. Okay, time for the big reveal.
207.
You win!
No one's ever told me that I have many of Bella Swan's finest qualities.
You're having an asthma attack.
That is a first for my YouTube channel. This quiz was at least 230 points, and I only scored 4 points different than a 14-year-old girl.
He's really got in the headspace.
If you'd messaged me and said, can we meet up? I have the unofficial Twilight Companion and I want to film it with you. I don't know that I would have been as enthusiastic. Yeah, you've lured me in and now I'm here.
This is all along. I brought this from Canada. My name is actually the lowest Gresham.